Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Frame Zero Podcast. I'm officially calling it that because fuck it, has been a year and we haven't done anything. The name's okay. So, as always, I am being joined by Lenny.
Hello there.
Perry.
This time, no longer with microtransactions.
And Jalen.
The dark cloud looms over me.
Yep. And guys, it is time to go back to where it all began. So, for those of you who don't know or haven't seen the first episode, we actually started this podcast with E3. And E3 is upon us once again. So,
it's video game Christmas, everybody.
yes, it is.
Yay. Yeah.
So, guys, what have you...
Unfortunately, you don't get to unwrap the presents.
Yeah. So, what have you thought of E3 so far? Perry, go ahead and start.
Well, if I said my thoughts right now, it'd pretty much be spoilers for the entire podcast, so I'm going to keep mine in check.
Well, I was gonna say about the event, not like the things announced, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, regards to the event itself, so far I'd say this is a relatively decent showing with one very, very high peak.
Right.
Mm.
We all know who that is.
Yep.
Lenny, what would you say?
Like, this is, I'd say, probably, like, at least on a very surface level, maybe one of the more memorable E3s. And, like, now granted, the last one was really fucking tops. 2015 E3 was tops.
That's a hard act to follow.
It is, and I'd say, like, depending on the conference, a lot of people did better, and a few people did a lot worse. But we'll get into that when we get to those individual ones, because spoiler free.
Yeah. So, Jalen, what do you think?
Okay, so E3 as a whole this year, in my opinion, was O to the K. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It's perfectly in the middle. That's because the quality of the conferences so far have been from, oh wow, this is pretty great, to, really?
Did I watch this while I was high?
Exactly. Also, I will say this. I'm tired of the scheduling nonsense. Who puts all the conferences on the first 2 days?
Yeah, what happened to the idea of spreading shit out?
And you want to know what's worse? Like, the Ubisoft one happened at the same time as the PC Gamer Conference.
Yeah, they bled into each other.
The scheduling of this needs to be fired.
Yeah,
and it's like,
dumb.
And that's a weird thing. Some of the games that Ubisoft has are being sold on PC, and some of the PC games are ones that are made by Ubisoft. So it's like, you guys really should not be bleeding into each other. This isn't like, you should not be directly competing.
Right.
And a publisher shouldn't be like head to head like this.
Yeah.
They should put like a maximum statute limit of no more than 2 conferences a day for each day of E3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we just say, like, okay, you got, so, like, Microsoft and Bethesda take EA and Bethesda take the first day, Microsoft and PCs take the next day, Ubisoft and Nintendo takes the next day, and then Sony gets a day for itself.
It sounds like favoritism there, but I'm not going to say anything.
You know exactly why I say Sony gets last.
I know exactly why you do.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm pretty sure no one else would disagree.
There are
Okay, look, there is favoritism, but you also got to consider, like, I don't know, what kind of, I guess, production values go into it. Like, Nintendo just seems to be doing their own thing with Treehouse, so it's like, I don't think it honestly matters when they do it.
Okay, fine, put Ubisoft in there. Just
right.
put Ubisoft and Sony on the same day, then Nintendo just whenever the fuck they want to do it.
It's because, like, they're not officially part of E3, they just happen to be doing things at the same time as E3 at this point.
I'll leave my Nintendo Treehouse thoughts when we actually do it.
Right.
Yeah. Let's wait for that. Let's wait for that train wreck to come.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I thought last year's E3 was better, personally. Just because it was better scheduled. And last year, it seems that everybody brought their A game. Or at least tried to bring their A game. And this year, some people flopped, and of course, some people knocked it out of the park. But, we'll get to that. But let's go ahead and start with EA. Oh boy. So, first we had, Titanfall 2 was shown off. We had a release date for that too, didn't we? We had a trailer and a release date.
Yeah, that's October 28th.
Oh boy!
And it's multi-platform this time. It's PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
That's good.
And it has a single player this time.
Wonderful.
That's
Yeah,
even
and
better.
it's also not releasing on like PS3 or Xbox 360, which that might be bad for some people because it's like, oh well, I haven't upgraded to next gen. But the reason why it's good is they are no longer holding back resources or graphical fidelity for the sake of the previous generation. So
God.
it'll look better. It'll just like perform better. Everything will generally be great at the expense of people who haven't gotten up to the next generation, which it's understandable, but it's also like, it's been, 3 years since the next generation came out, at least the major ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more or less.
So, but yeah, it, honestly, I mean, I was like kind of okay with Titanfall 1. Like, I never got a chance to play, but I was like lukewarm in terms of interest. I'm actually interested in this one.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of platforms, like, it actually looks like it's adding a lot more really cool shit. Like, the trailer showed that they now have, like, melee weapons for the Titan, so you can have, like, sword mech fights, and that's so cool. That's, like, that's what the first game needed, like, stuff like, because it's obviously taken inspiration from a lot of different genres, but taking inspiration from, like, Gundam and Pacific Rim and stuff like that is exactly what the game needs, because the more, like, over-the-top and action-y that it can get will benefit it, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the game actually does look like a lot of fun. I was very interested in Titanfall 1. I played it. The hype wore off, I would say, like, about 2 weeks. And I think that was the same case for everybody. Everybody just got tired of it and just went back to Call of Duty. So, the fact that they're adding all this cool stuff like melee weapons for mechs is a good thing because, they're adding more crazy things that you can't do in Call of Duty. And what's Call of Duty doing? Going to fucking space. It's holding Call of Duty 4 hostage so you can buy their game about going to space. But, I'm actually very interested. Perry, what do you think?
I'm honestly, when I saw that, I was just like, alright, we got mechs with swords.
Uh-huh.
We got mechs with swords beating the shit out of each other.
Uh-huh.
But we've also got a lot of people running around with grappling hooks everywhere. So this might actually catch my attention a little bit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I never cared much for the first Titanfall. It's like, oh look, multiplayer shooter. Whoopee. Oh, it has giant robots? Again, I love giant robots, but whoopee. But this one's like, okay, you got a single player campaign in here? Okay. I might be a little bit interested. I'd have to see a little bit more, but you basically have my ears perked. Now you just gotta keep my interest.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Jalen, what do you think?
Yo, man, Titanfall 2 should have been Titanfall 1. That's all I gotta say about that. Other than that, I think the game looks, it looks great. It looks pretty good. I will buy it used for $20. That's not against the game.
You are the harshest of critics when it comes to shooters.
It's true.
But yeah.
I don't know. You might have. I might be a little bit. I like to think of a little bit of a competition.
Yeah. So sign me the fuck up for giant mechs with swords. Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I just add one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what this would be the perfect opportunity for though? If
What?
Titanfall 2 is a success, the chance over for our ultimate dream crossover robot fighting game. Think about it. Think about Voltron, Transformers, Evangelion, Pacific Rim, Power Rangers, all in one.
That'd be amazing.
That'd
be
be great.
great.
That'd be a robot orgy of amazingness.
Like, the one thing I was going to mention is, like, when they first showed off Titanfall 1, they talked about how it has to be an Xbox One exclusive because of the power of the cloud. Because you couldn't render all these different AIs so complexly unless you had the power of the cloud. And now this one is going to be, like, even more mechanically deep on the PS4, which does not have the cloud. So, I'm not going to say Microsoft has egg all over their face, but if you smacked their head straight into a grill, you'd get a tasty omelet.
But the power of the cloud. the power of the
I was about
cloud.
to make an omelet joke. Well, damn. Anyways.
Oh man, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Madden NFL 17 kicks off EA's Seed Sport push. Yay!
I don't give a fuck.
Hey, it looks better than the last game, I guess, in terms of visuals.
Every game has that. Everyone looks better than the previous one.
Yep.
Actually, this is something that I was actually getting into a conversation with some of my classmates, and one of my teachers actually brought up this idea. I was like, you know what? I'd actually be okay with that if EA basically took all of their major sports titles and made them on a 4-year cycle. So basically, it's like NBA 1 year, NHL the next year, Madden next year, FIFA next year, and then just repeat on that.
You want to know what would be a good benefit of that is like they could just put in like a yearly mega patch that updates like the player base and the stats.
You're right. That's actually really smart.
Yeah,
but
so like
since it's really smart, no one's gonna do it.
Well, no. The correct, probably the right phrasing is it's really smart, but it doesn't give EA money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
like they could do even like not even have it as a patch. Like since only diehard fans are going to want to do this, have it be like a form of like stat DLC. Just say, hey, pay like $5 a year, $5 a season or whatever, and we'll update the stats or whatever. And the diehard fans are going to love that shit because it's like, hey, $5 instead of $60 for a brand new game, and I still get to keep all my progress, and I get all the like new shit and whatever. That I think people would love that. Like having it free would be better, but having a sort of monetary reason to keep the game up to date over the course of a 4-year cycle while they develop the new one is still something that would be greatly beneficial in terms of the monetary propositions of the game.
Or a totally EA move of them to do.
What?
Yeah. Basically turn each and every one of their sports titles into a franchise subscription service, and you basically have to pay monthly for the game itself and actually go for it, and usually that money for stat and roster updates.
Perry, get out of your house right now. Leave. And never return.
What?
Perry, call the patent.
You know that EA would do something like that.
No, call the patent office. You need to get that on lockdown because, EA listens to shit. They go on the internet sometimes. They might hear this and implement it. You have to stop them right now.
I have a lawyer for a father. I know this system, how it works. So as soon as I get back to... How about this? You don't post this episode until after I get back into town on Saturday. So once I do, I will already have that copyright ready to go.
Well, guys, other than that, I got nothing. I mean, maybe if we ate steak for every meal and injected ourselves with red, white, and blue, we'd like football more. But
the thing is, from the conference itself, they had an entire segment talking about pro Madden game players.
Oh yeah, that.
As in not the football players, but people who play the Madden games,
esports,
professionally.
baby.
The esport Madden players. And it's so much and you don't want to be condescending because it's they're gamers too, but they just seem so I don't know uppity about it. They're like, oh, it's not that easy, sometimes it's hard, and it's oh my god, really? They actually say that.
Sit on your ass.
They actually say it's you're right. I don't have the skill to be professional. What do I fucking know about being a pro Madden game player? But on the other hand, it's don't present this like this is some coming of age sob story for this kind of thing. It's like what Perry said. You're sitting on your ass playing a sport that you can't actually play.
Too busy eating fucking hot pockets and Mountain Dew.
And trying to hold your own underdog pity party on the live internet.
I would much rather watch a documentary about StarCraft esports players.
At least it has drama in it.
Because at least then you at least see some interesting matches.
And at the very least, when these guys are doing this, they're doing it because they can't play football when as a human being they could. At least with StarCraft, That's fucking shit you can't do. You can't turn into a fucking Zerg and go up into space and, like, fuck around with shit or whatever. I don't know what the plot is.
Unless you're one of those creepers at a cosplay convention.
Yeah, you can't do that. So at least it's...
Not with that attitude, Lenny.
You can't go into space and just do willy-nilly things.
Yeah, no, the epic story crafted by Blizzard of fucking shit or whatever. Put that on the box of the next expansion.
Oh, God.
StarCraft 2, The Tale of Shit and Whatever.
So, oh yeah, I forgot Madden. Boring out there.
We spent too much time on this.
Yeah, let's move on. So they shut off Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yep.
Are you guys feeling it?
I really hope that's good.
Yeah. Are you guys feeling it though?
Like I said in the chat when we were watching it, it's just a more focused No Man's Sky from the way they described it.
Yeah, they're really putting all of their chips on exploration this time. It seems.
That's really cool, and I do dig it. The one thing that has me concerned, like not me personally, but for the success of the game, is that it features a whole new cast and a whole new galaxy, meaning there's apparently going to be a whole new like slew of like races and other stuff.
Exactly.
The reason why that worries me is I feel like some people would have wanted them to continue some of the characters and plot elements from the original trilogy. And so they may or may not feel apathetic towards these new people because they're like, oh, well, this isn't Shepard. I don't give a shit. Who are you, blue lady? I don't care. Like,
I mean, if it's just like the other Mass Effects and you can make your own character, you will be invested.
Well, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Lenny.
Well, no, I mean, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I've heard some people say that they don't see this as being particularly great because they see it effectively as a reboot because it seems to have very little to do with the other ones on the basis that you're not seeing any of the same characters and you're not seeing any of the same locations.
Right.
I think they're just short-sighted.
Yeah. I have no disagreements there because I've never played anything besides like the first 2 hours of Mass Effect 1, so I have no idea about like the terms of like what fans think or know about it. But I think it looks pretty and space is fun, so I might pick it up.
All right, Perry, what do you think?
I really, really want this to be good, but something about this has got me a little bit. I wouldn't say it has my red flag raised to full mast, but it's more like I've got it out of the trunk and I'm ready to hoist it. And that is, you haven't mentioned jack shit about what the story is for this one.
They did.
You explore.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me anything.
Perry.
That's like, oh, you're just chilling out in the Andromeda Galaxy. It's like, yeah, doing what?
Dude, that doesn't matter. Look at the space. Look how space it is.
Perry.
Okay, Perry, to be slightly more specific, they mentioned that the mission is to explore these planets to find a suitable home for the rest of humanity since Earth was pretty much fucked at the end of, Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
So specifically... Sorry,
okay,
go ahead.
That's fine. I can deal with that. That's more of like, okay. Because when I meant by a story was that in Mass Effect 1, I pretty much knew the narrative I was getting myself into. Is that it was Commander Shepard going against a rogue Spectre agent and trying to bring him to justice. I was like, okay, That's a pretty concrete plot I can get myself behind. And it's like, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into. It just happens to take place in space, and this is like an operatic epic, which was really cool. And so that was what I was leaning towards with Mass Effect Andromeda and saying, okay, for people who may not have played the original trilogy and say, I want to actually try and get into the Mass Effect series and say, what's the story of this one? If someone were to ask me that, I honestly couldn't tell them. It's like, I have no idea what the story is in this one because we know so little about this. And that it's like, oh, well, we see a couple of the planets. We know that basically the Hammerhead or / Mako is back. We know that some of the races like the Asari are back. So we get an idea of the types of people and things that are going to be in this world, but we have no idea what the hell we're going to be doing outside of just general exploration stuff. And that was one of the things that really hooked me in with Mass Effect was its story and its characters. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure the characters in the Mass Effect Andromeda will be fine. I just want to know what the hell we're going to be doing and what our individual quest is going to be and what the whole narrative is going to be like. Because that's, like I said, was the big hook for me at the first one, and it really expanded on that one in the second, and I love that one.
Yeah, two is probably my favorite out of the trilogy.
Yeah, two is probably one of the best video game sequels I've ever played.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, Jalen, what do you think?
All right. So Mass Effect. Andromeda. I'm looking forward to it, I guess. 3 was okay. And leaves a sour taste in your mouth, depending on the kind of person you are. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Andromeda is okay. I'm fine with the plot. I mean, as long as it's not, we're gonna go through planet here and have an adventure not really connected until, oh no, plot happens. Oh boy. If it's like that, I swear to God, I'll probably still play
it. I'm also curious that, say, if we try to establish a presence in Andromeda itself, I'm just like, how much further has human technology progressed within the time frame between Earth getting fucked and this? Because I'm just kind of wondering, because Andromeda's a really long fuck ways away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering, like, how fast are we actually moving past light speed at this point? Because if you're going to do that, there's no feasible way that you're going to actually get to Andromeda within the span of a few hours unless you're going multiple dozens of times the speed of light.
Maybe they set up one of those Mass Effect thingies that makes them go at light speed.
Yeah, that's probably it. Or maybe they advanced on the technology and found wormholes.
I think it might be that. I mind you, I might be paraphrasing. I think they mentioned something in the trailer about how Andromeda is kind of drifting towards the Milky Way galaxy. So I think they said something along the lines of, like, it's drifted close enough to where they can have people travel to it without,
that means millions of years then.
Yeah, but mind you, I might be paraphrasing, or I might have just heard them wrong. So I don't want people to take it at face value and then learn out, oh, it takes place 80 seconds after Mass Effect 3. You lied to us, Lenny. Like,
80 seconds.
Yeah, so...
Spoiler alert, Commander Shepard's alive.
Of course.
Commander Shepard's now an AI on the ship that you fly.
Commander Shepard can send people through space by looking at him and putting his fingers to his temple.
And the Shepard voice will be the opposite of the gender of the character that you picked.
Oh, that would piss off so many FemShep fans. Which, okay, can I just say this real thing one quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Okay, I am so fucking tired of everyone saying, oh, which Shep is the best, male Shep or FemShep. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. They're the same characters. Literally just one has a dick and one doesn't.
They're the blankest slates that you can write words on.
And one's voiced by Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Jennifer Hale. I love her as Bastila in Knights of the Republic. But let me just say this. I'm tired of people saying, oh, FemShep is one of the best written female characters. It's like, no, she's not.
What does that even
only
mean?
as well written as you allow her character to be.
That's basically saying my piece of art is better than that person's piece of art because I did the piece of art.
Like, it's not that much credit to say that, she's one of the best female written characters, because since you can just be a guy also, that means that technically it's also one of the best male written characters, which makes it like a strike even, zero game, zero loss situation. Like, if they're doing a competing gender type thing. Because they're the same character.
Yeah, pretty much. Just one has tits.
Unless they had, gender-specific character arcs, something along the lines of oh, well, male Shepard can say these lines, but only female Shepard can say these lines or something, then that might make it have more of a case. But as far as I know, they didn't do that. They just had the people record it in different ways because they're different, but it did have a different outcome, so to speak. So it's
what about all the males that male Shepard can't romance?
Did they fix that in the second and third one?
I think it's the third one. That's why I meant in the first and second.
I guess the U.S. didn't constitution it in the first two games at that point.
Yeah. Can I bring up a hilarious moment in Let's Play history?
Go ahead.
In Mass Effect 3, DSP, Darkside Phil, accidentally romanced a guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was
How do you accidentally do that?
And he was freaking out the whole time, throughout the whole sex scene. He was like, "Oh no!"
I don't have that exact thing, but I had a comparable thing to that in Dragon's Dogma. Like, to put it very simply, every single NPC in the entire game can be romanced to be your love interest in Dragon's Dogma. But the thing is, if you don't go out of your way to romance specific characters who are NPCs, you will gain like minimal amounts of like romance meter with anyone who you talk to and don't like aggravate or piss off. And so since I forgot to like romance characters, the guy who runs like the hotel, which is like your save/health center, like so it's like a Pokemon center essentially where you just like heal up and save and shit. That guy, like the guy who just runs the hotel, who has like only 2 lines of like, what will it be today? See you again soon. Was my designated love interest for the second half of the entire game because I didn't actually romance any of the like main female characters in it.
That'd be like if you go to a Pokemon Center and your romance interest by default is Nurse Joy.
Yeah, exactly. Just and like there's a scene where it's like, oh no, the dragon has captured your true love, and I just see the fucking hotel guy being.
What were you talking about? What would you say? Like, by the way, did you pick up the rent this month?
Reaching for that brass ring, Lenny.
God damn.
It's just ridiculous. There have been like other people who've done Let's Plays where they've gone out of the way to make like the most ridiculous characters into it. There's like a court jester midget who you only see in one portion of the entire game in like a cutscene, and this guy somehow made him into the love interest.
All right, let's move on.
This isn't Mass. Sorry, Mass Effect.
Oh god.
This shows you how boring the EA press conference was, people, when we have to think of tangents to make something even more enjoyable.
Oh yeah. Wow. So FIFA 17 has a story mode. Yay.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, like, it actually does. I don't know who it stars, but,
It stars some dude named Hunter or something like that.
Alex Hunter.
Yeah.
In a rags to riches story mode full of sports-related drama.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
FIFA 17.
Oh.
Yeah. So, just yay or nay, and let's move on.
No.
That's not
Well,
nay.
no, there's one more thing we need to talk about FIFA.
Ah, fine.
Remember, they're putting in like famous coaches or managers or something like that, they're all like real people.
Sweet.
So there's
Who
that.
gives a shit?
Yep. Sports fans, good for you.
Like, that's who
our audience.
That's who they yell at. Like, I've been at like bars with like the Vikings, and I completely forget who. But like, rather than yelling at the players, they will yell at like the coaches, saying like, "Oh, I'll call him Steve." Like, "Oh, fucking Steve should have thrown the sports ball to the left, not the right. You're a horrible coach." And,
thank you, Lieutenant Obvious.
Yeah, it's like that stuff. So it's like sometimes they recognize because like sometimes they watch the practice games because there's actually like you can actually go to practice games here in Minnesota and like see them do stuff, and they'll do like amazing shit. It's like, oh, you threw it like 100 sport kilometers that way, and like and then they'll be like, okay, he can do that shit. But when they're under pressure, they need to be able to think, and the person who's doing the thinking for them is the coach. So if the coach is a dumbass, they aren't going to be able to do that cool, awesome shit. They're not going to be able to score, like touchdowns at the hockey game if you don't know how to do it good, right?
Okay, now you're just trying to piss them off.
You were going out of your way.
A little bit try hard.
All right,
anyways,
moving on.
Moving on.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So then they showed off a game called Fee. F-E. Is that how you say Fee or Fae?
Fee.
I say Fae just because Fee has 2 E's in it.
Right.
I say iron.
Anyway, somebody please describe it to me because I somehow missed this.
Okay. It's basically. You mind if I do this?
Go ahead.
It's basically Ori and the Blind Forest if it basically had a journey style of gameplay to it.
With a shade of purple.
With a lot of purple.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it looks so good.
Yeah, it's like 3D movement, a lot of floating and glowing shit. Like you ride around on manta rays that fly through the sky. It's cool.
Basically, it was pretty much the most interesting game that E3 showed at their conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty much like their unravel of this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Which let me just be honest. Is this going to be like a thing each year that if EA is going to put in one interesting game, it's just like, oh, by the way, it's our EA Originals, kind of like
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing. EA Original is a program now where they basically go to indie developers and fund them some money and help them out so they can make games.
Which, okay, props to them for actually doing that, because it's like, hey,
Honestly,
you got all that money, you might as well put it to good use.
Honestly, I really like it because Unravel looked fucking awesome. I haven't had a chance to play it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. Yeah, and this looks like the same kind of stuff. It's like, look at this thing with like color and creativity that isn't sports ball. It's how do you do it?
And not only that, but it's being presented by someone who's genuinely excited and nervous as shit.
Yeah,
Right.
that seems to be a running theme. The guy who presented Unravel was very kind of finicky and like nervous, and this guy looks scared shitless on the stage. He just,
Oh yeah.
like, and it's like I mentioned before in the chat. Everyone else seems to have that sort of like tailored feeling to them, like that sort of like canned, pre-developed, speech with all the right kind of like buzzwords and appropriate politically correct sayings of everything. But this guy, he's like, hi, and it's like he doesn't seem like he's going through a rut. He doesn't seem like he's just been like pre-cut to meet this particular thing.
Oh yeah. And the guy last year
I
was
want to
like
give the guy a hug.
I do. He's adorable, being all awkward up there. I can sympathize with him because, like, I don't know about you guys. I don't think any of us are, god tier in regards to social skills. So, fucking a guy up there actually being nervous. It's a sign of humanity that we can latch onto.
Hell, that's going to be... I'm going to have to do that at some point in my career, and that's going to be my fucking job.
Don't worry, Perry. We'll be on the stream to judge you.
Great. Then I'll have all Twitch yelling at me. Saying, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, but did they give a release date for this or anything?
I just don't...
As I know,
They did, honestly. I don't remember
No.
them giving one.
I don't think so.
I think they just said in the near future, most likely 2017.
No,
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
I'm gonna ballpark and say spring 2017.
no, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we move on?
For EA, I don't even remember what else they showed.
We still have two more things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
It's on Fee or
Yeah.
Faye, whatever.
we good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, then let's move on. We got new Star Wars games coming our way. Battlefront 2, which we already knew about because it was inevitable.
Yep.
So
Shame on
EA
them.
loves money.
yeah,
Shame on them for
we're getting Lando, and it's gonna work with VR, and it's coming out in 2018, or is it 2017? It's 2017.
That's 2017. And then we got two other ones. One made by Visceral and one made by
Respawn.
Respawn. Yeah.
Yeah. And the 2018 is the one that where the Visceral game is coming out. It showed early footage of a trench coat clad stranger walking through a desert city. Wow, all right then.
You know that's Tatooine. Well,
Desert City. It says Desert City. But yeah, we all know. But
Yeah.
It's either Tatooine or not Tatooine, which is in this case called Jakku.
yeah.
yes.
So anybody?
Yeah.
Anything you're excited for here?
I mean, if Visceral doesn't pull a Dead Space 3, then I'd be happy. So that's pretty much all I hope for. Just don't
I
do
thought
Dead
you
Space 3
hated Dead
again.
Space 3.
That's what I'm saying. Don't
They
do
don't.
Dead Space 3 again.
Oh, I thought you said if they pull a Dead Space 3.
So that's what I'm saying. I am excited as long as they just don't do that again.
All right.
Oh man.
So that's it. I'm excited.
Anybody excited for Battlefront 2? Like at this point?
Battlefront
No.
left a bad taste in my mouth. That game series can go to hell. Well, I'm sorry. EA can go to hell.
But
Like-
dude,
I'll
we
just
get
play the-
Lando.
I'll just
Okay,
play
here's the thing.
I'll just play the recently announced fan mod called Galaxy of Turmoil, which is being published by Valve.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm just
Here's
like,
the thing.
hey, look, it's the Battlefront that we wanted. Hey, let's play that one.
Go ahead, Lenny.
Honestly, yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. I really, really hope they don't get a cease and desist on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
me
hope
too.
so too.
I mean, they got backing from Valve, so if they
Well, yeah,
did-
but that's the thing though. Like, someone pointed this out as an example. Have you guys ever seen the sheer amount of like bootleg games on, say, the Apple App Store?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, has Apple ever been sued by Disney?
No.
Not once for any of those things. All they have to do is just take the game off the store and that's it. So literally, this is just, as far as I can tell, an excellent move by Valve, because if they back it, everyone will think that they're the heroes, and if they get to actually push out the game, they get to make money off of it. But if they actually is like legal trouble and they get a cease and desist from EA or Disney or whatever, they are in no legal liability because they just have to tell them to take it off of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. So it's like, hey, if this works, awesome. If it doesn't, we don't get sued.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to move on. Are you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm good.
There
All
wasn't
right.
much to talk about these games because they're not anywhere near ready to be shown off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So EA ended with Battlefield 1, and a reminder to the kids that World War 1 actually happened. But it shows that Battlefield 1 has dynamic weather, and they showed an October release date. Anybody excited?
No.
Like, okay, I am one of apparently only like 3 people on the entire internet who is more excited for Infinite Warfare than Battlefield 1.
It's okay.
It's because you like
And-
space.
I like space, but I also like, and I'm going to be very short about this because there's going to be like other shit to talk about, and I'm going to go in more depth when we actually get to the Infinite Warfare thing showed off at another conference. But in short, there have been World War I games before,
Mm-hmm.
and World War I is a thing that really exists. So when they make this game, they don't have to do anything in regards to thinking on their feet with like originality or creativity. They just have to be like, oh, look at this thing that existed. Now I just need to model this thing that already existed. Bam. And then I look at Infinite Warfare, where it's like space has been done before, but they have their own unique take on everything. Because it's like, oh, flying jets that also can go into space aren't a thing that actually exists, so they don't have like a predisposed template to base everything off of. They have to think with, terms of creativity and things that haven't actually existed before. So the sheer aspect of Infinite Warfare being based off the concepts of science fiction, which is not like a solid 100% like, static base, whereas Battlefield 1 is, because they have to base it off of weapons that are around during that time field, mean that Infinite Warfare is much, much more original and creative than Battlefield 1 ever can be. Because if Battlefield 1 strays away from things that are accurate to World War 1, then it's not like an accurate World War I shooter, and then I dock it points for not being historically accurate when it's trying to present itself as a realistic depiction of World War I.
Right, right.
So that's the basis of that. But aside from that, they had a giant chunk after the conference of like an hour-long thing of gameplay with a ton of celebrities, and it looked fun. Like, they had a lot, they had cool shit. And I think you guys pointed this out to me. Snoop Dogg was there, and he was actually like smoking a joint while he was playing Battlefield 1.
And he was walking into a fucking wall.
Mm-hmm. His KD was 0-0.
He was running into a wall
Like,
the whole time.
he's so chill that he was just a complete pacifist, apparently. And the thing is, when he was walking in on the carpet, he was like, they're like, oh, what are you going to do? What's your plan? And he's like, we got a secret weapon. And it's like, that was his secret weapon. He's just going to smoke weed in the corner and wait for the game to be done. Oh my god.
Oh, Snoop Dogg.
He showed those
And, like,
walls
Never
what's
failed
up,
to
yo.
entertain.
And it was insane the celebrities they got for this. I mean, like, mind you, this is not actually representative of the quality of the game, but still, like, Terry Crews and Jamie Foxx were there, and like, Zac Efron of all people, like, I guess he still is a thing, but
They just didn't look like they gave a fuck.
like
No,
it was
they didn't.
It was just crazy how many people they got there, but they looked like they had a lot of fun. I thought it looked good, but it's not like what I consider so good that I'm going to jump out and buy it, because it's like, oh look, a well-executed military shooter. Oh boy, it's like I'm not jumping, clicking my heels for that. At least not for that particular thing, because it's like I've seen a bunch of World War 2 shooters, and this just seems like, oh boy, slightly less weapons that don't work as well. It's a genius.
It's every kid's dream.
Yeah.
But Lenny.
Yeah.
World War II didn't have armored trains.
Yeah, that's okay, so here's my question then. If armored trains are so good, why didn't they have them in World War II?
Because they were too awesome. They were ruled a war crime.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
This is why I should go to like Perry for things so he can explain actual history for me.
You know I'm never serious about anything in the history of ever.
Like, okay, since Perry knows the most about history, let's hear what he has to say about this stuff.
Well, you guys are probably gonna be a little bit surprised by this.
Hold on, let me grab something to drink. Let me tuck in for a story. Go ahead.
Will we?
There's 2 shooters here that I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the trailers for them, I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, that actually looked kind of cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I feel ashamed in admitting it.
One of them was Overwatch, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. I've already seen trailers for that, and that already did look cool. I'm talking just specifically during the E3.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, I will admit, I don't care about these types of shooters. I usually don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when I looked at Battlefield 1, it's like, yeah, that kind of looks like World War I. And funny enough, I actually just had a history class this past week about World War I. And we were talking about the Red Baron and how trench warfare works. It's like, you know what? Looking at this right now, it's like, it's not technically it's not the World War I that I'm imagining in my head, because I think of the whole, like, oh, everyone's deep in muddy trenches and it's all shitty and gray and it's really depressing and all quiet on the Western Front type shit.
Yeah.
So this is more like the Michael Bay of World War I games or something like that, which, fine, whatever. I kind of figured they were going to do that anyways. But it's like, considering the fact that we've had modern military shooters for like the last 5 or 6 years as dominating everything now, having World War I, a war that's usually not that covered very much compared to World War II, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'll try and give you at least a little bit of a pass.
Mm-hmm.
And say, look, you're doing a time frame that isn't very much covered. Plus, you're not just doing the European stuff. You're apparently taking on, like, the Lawrence of Arabia type stuff, which is really freaking cool. If you look into that, that's actually really interesting. So that's kind of like, okay, you're actually doing this as a world war, not just, oh, World War I, but really it's all in Europe. Right. So, and plus, I kind of want them to talk about, I know this is not probably going to happen, but I would at least like them to talk about the war from all sides of this conflict, because really, if you think about it, World War I did not need to happen.
It didn't.
Like, there were so many things that went wrong that just like a domino effect. It's like, okay, ever since Franz Ferdinand's assassination, things just got out of hand really fucking fast.
Yeah.
So I would kind of like it if they touched upon that, even if it's just something as a passing mention. I'd be like, okay, at least you acknowledge the history of this, and I'm not going to lie, if they don't play Flanders Field at some point in the game, I'm going to be pissed. Because I was like, that's one of the most iconic songs with World War I.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put that in there in some way. That has to be said or sung in some capacity. So... Right. Yeah, that's pretty much my take on Battlefield 1, and I will admit, it's not the trailer itself, while I thought it looked cool, it wasn't enough to make me go out and get it, but I must at least acknowledge I was at least entertained while watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, big shock, people. Perry actually said something positive about a modern shooter.
Oh, boy. But...
Mass hysteria, everybody!
Are we good on Battlefield 1?
I didn't say anything about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Alright, so
Such a
Battlefield 1. The greatest name you could give to a shooter ever. Because it perfectly reflects what the game is about. Battlefields of World War One. But anyway, I think the game looks fantastic in terms of lighting and dynamic weather is cool. I like World War One as an event in history. It's a very interesting thing to look at and just kind of like go, why did all this stuff happen? It's just stupid, as Perry said.
It's a giant clusterfuck.
Exactly.
I mean, if you just... Okay, I'm going to plug in another different series real quick, but if you guys watch extra history episodes on World War One and how it all became like this really seminal tragedy, I just kind of have to go, wow, this just became a lot more depressing. So, yeah, it's some, like, you start looking at it, it's like, this could have been stopped so many times if we just had better people in charge, if we had better leaders at the time, then we would have probably avoided World War One and World War Two to begin with. And also, if we weren't such dicks at the end of World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, the Allies, we kind of punished Germany a little too hard, and because of that, World War II happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna go into that for the story mode on Battlefield 1 to kind of show the negative political implications shown off there.
It really depends on the perspective they give for the characters.
Yeah. But oh god, this is a horribly stupid joke, but I'd laugh. Like, plot twist. It was Charles Schultz, the writer of the Peanuts. I'd probably get the name wrong. Went back in time and started World War One so that Snoopy would have a villain to fight in the specials with the Red Baron.
Hell, if they did a Snoopy for Red Baron, I'd actually play that.
Well then.
I'm not much of a Peanuts fan, but I've always liked that little Snoopy Red Baron type skit. Hell, if they actually had missions where you get to play as the Red Baron, which would sound pretty cool.
That actually would be very nice.
That'd be awesome. Like, as I know they showed off the plane segments in one of the trailers. So if you could actually be like one of the various, or I don't know how many there are, but you could be any of the famous or well-known World War One flyers.
Right.
That would be so fucking cool.
Everyone would just want to be Red Baron because, I mean, I did some research on the guy. The dude was nuts. He had 80 confirmed kills to his name.
I don't... Is there any other, like, famous World War One like dogfight pilot?
Nowhere near as close as him.
Okay.
He is probably the most famous flying ace in the history.
It'd be awesome if it's similar to, like, the hero system in, like, Battlefront, where you're fighting in, like, a regular plane, but then when you get, like, 5 kills, you just summon and then become the Red Baron.
I would like that.
Just every...
That's a perk I would actually go for.
So everyone in the air just dies?
Just Red Baron, everyone paints it in blood.
Like, it's like identically shaped, but it's red, and for some reason the bullets just do more damage and hit you more often, just somehow.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's insane.
Okay, then. Yeah, don't take our ideas. There are ideas.
God damn it, when's the patent office open?
I think it opens up at 8.
That makes sense.
But yeah, okay guys, you ready to move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Alright, so that was it for the EA conference. If you guys had to rate it, what would you say? Perry?
Let's see. Oh, sorry, I got a yawn. Do you want me to use my grading system, or do you want me to use a numerical system?
Go with whatever you want.
Okay. I will go with 2 systems, just so I make this easy for people who've never heard my grading system. I would say watch it at your own risk, honestly. Or if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a C minus, something like that. I mean, that's probably the best I could give it, and that's probably me being nice.
All right.
Most of that is for just the fact that I thought that the Battlefield 1 trailer looked kind of cool, and all of that rest of it was just fee. Like, literally, Feed was the one that bumped it up to a C, but then Battlefield 1 is just like, okay, we'll give you a minus there. Just bring it out a little bit. You're not terrible, but you look kind of cool enough.
Right. All right, Jalen?
All right, so this year I came up with a special new grade. It's made for... My grading scale is, of course, on a 10, but this is for less than 0. And it is the EA score. An EA gets an EA out of 10. This is not a joke. While Iron and Battlefield 1 were okay, EA did not improve from last year. And that's what I was hoping for. Even a little, not by a little bit, it was like maybe a 0.5. If they had made it to 1, they would have not gotten an EA score. But since they made that 0.5, and this is my personal opinion, you guys, if you don't agree, I'm sorry. You don't have to agree. It gets an EA out of 10.
All
right, Lenny.
I'm gonna give it I'm maybe a little bit too forgiving. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Because here's the way that works. This is a little bit arbitrary, but basically, if I like a conference, I start it off at 10 and then I take off points for everything that was bad. And if I dislike a conference, I start off in 1 and add a point for everything that was good. So, there are 3 things that I liked in the EA's conference, and since 1 is my minimum, it's a 4. Those 3 things were Titanfall 2 looked really cool, Feed looks really cool, and Snoop Dogg smoking a joint while playing Battlefield 1 was pretty funny. And also the game looked, mechanically competent, so I can't knock that for it. And that's pretty much it. And the rest of it is sports, so it's I don't... Yeah, that's it. I'm not really into Mass Effect. It's just, there's so little to gleam off of in regards to Mass Effect, and I've never played the series, so I wasn't really excited for it, but...
Yeah, look at the bright side with Mass Effect. At least they showed us something.
Yeah, you're right.
So it gets a 4. It was a 3 before, but I bumped it up a little bit.
More than we could say for Star Wars, but it show us jack shit.
I was
saw developers.
You saw developers talking about how excited they were to work on this thing, which we don't know what it is at all.
Yeah, it's just oh, by the way, Amy Hennig's on a project. It's yeah, I'm excited about that. Why don't you actually show us what you're working on?
They don't have anything.
Yeah,
they just got storyboards.
I'm pretty sure they just brought him back behind the curtain. Hey, you guys want to make a Star Wars game? All right, come tell the world we're making a Star Wars game.
The least they could have.
You know what I find hilarious is that last year we gave them shit for giving us just concept footage of what they wanted to do. Now they're just letting us know that they're doing something. Watch it next year, and it's just them with the team and just doing a pitch presentation, and EA signing the check.
Honestly, they could have at least described what the basic story or gameplay mechanics were. Something you play as R2-D2's older cousin, A484, whatever. And then you have to explore a planet, and it's a third-person stealth game or something. Something. Even if you have barely any concept art, just explain what the bare minimum mechanics and setup is. But instead, this one's boy, we sure excited for whatever this is.
Yeah, you know what they could have said? They could have even said just hypothetically, Amy Hennig's game. It could have said oh, by the way, we're gonna bring back the whole Star Wars 1313 thing and make it star Boba Fett. You would have instantly had people's attention.
Mm-hmm. And Boba Fett, the thing would sell hotcakes immediately because that's just how it works.
Yeah, it would sell because it was 1313, which people really, really wanted, and people really love the most overrated character of all time. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Yeah, he didn't do anything.
He did.
And he got eaten by a giant sand vagina.
Yep.
He was, he did an excellent job of foreshadowing getting eaten by the ground.
Yeah. I mean, he stood there and looked menacing, pointing his gun to the left, but
Well, see, that's the thing. A character of a lesser caliber would have pointed their gun to the right, so
And also have not gotten eaten.
Okay.
You're right.
Even a red shirt from Star Trek has a more dignified death.
At least the red shirts only die once. Remember, he fell in there twice, but that was retconned.
Sure.
But I'd give the conference a 3. Faye was cool. Titanfall 2 was cool. Presentation didn't keep my attention that good. So, yeah, 2. They need to improve.
It's sort of like a nodding off in the middle of class. You got something there that keeps your attention, but then you just fall asleep through feel like you're about to fall asleep through the majority of it.
Like, you know the conference is drier than fucking freshly made toast in the middle of the Sahara, when the only thing that can keep our attention from a person is a guy who's like scared out of his fucking mind trying to present his indie game in front of everybody.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Like, that shouldn't
it was the most
be
genuine thing there.
Yeah, it shouldn't be appealing to us to see a guy like awkwardly like stumble through a few paragraphs about his indie game. Like, that shouldn't be appealing, and yet we're like praising him for being awkward and bad at presenting things. That's how low we've gotten.
We usually give a lot more companies crap whenever they are awkward at this stage.
Yeah, like, we're not there yet. That explains a lot in terms of what Ubisoft has been doing with their presentations as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Just made it cringe. Anyway, we should move on.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go ahead and move on. Bethesda is up next. Yeah. And they started off by bringing back Quake.
Called it!
Big bombs, baby.
Yep. They brought back Wolfenstein and Doom, so, it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, it was a fucking inevitability.
Because they're not going to bring back Rage.
Yeah, no. If they were bankrupt and they were like being kicked out of their building and they were say the only way you can save this building is to bring back Rage, they go, you know what? We'll find another place. So
I'm sure Crytek has a spare room that we can sleep in.
Exactly. Anybody else here a Quake fan?
I've always wanted to play it, but I never have.
So I can't say I am.
I've heard great things, but I've never actually played it.
So Quake is basically one of the granddaddies of the online multiplayer scene. Very, very well known for couch multiplayer. Like, a lot of people would just play with their friends on split screen and just play. The game was fun. It was really fun.
Quake 3 Arena was amazing.
Yeah, Quake 3 itself was shit, though. Like, like people did not like that one. So I hope this one's really good. It's been doing a good job of bringing back their IPs and making pretty good games.
Watch this one have an amazing single player campaign and the multiplayer shit.
That actually seems to be a trend with id games, which would be ironic because Quake is a multiplayer game.
Game. Well, from like the description people have been talking about it, it's gonna be more hero focused like Overwatch, but instead of, go for the objectives, it's all about get those kills, baby.
Yeah, which is fun in itself.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested to see how this turns out. Lenny, what do you think?
It completely off topic. I'll mention it just for a very short time.
Go for it.
It does seem like there's a lot of companies trying to throw their hat into the hero shooter genre.
Mm-hmm.
You got Lawbreakers, you got Battleborn, you got Overwatch, you got this one. You have some other one being made by some other people I'm completely forgetting. I think Crytek is actually making another one about like some star or something that has
now in Paragon.
Paragon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone seems to be throwing their hat into it. So if the implication from the trailer is true, it seems like they're leaning that way, which is not bad. Having a lot of diverse things in the genre isn't necessarily bad because then you can find which like sort of niche you fall into.
Right.
But back to this particular game, it looks fun. I hope we get to see more gameplay because this is just a CG trailer saying, hey, look, this is what the game's assets will probably kind of look like, and this game also exists. Like, that's all the trailers told me because it's all pre-rendered. So, But they did mention specifically that at QuakeCon, they will be showing off gameplay and demos and stuff. So I'll say I'm glad it's coming back on the basis that people would want it to come back. Because I've heard a lot of good things, and I really do like... Because, like, I've seen the mechanics of these games being put into, like, other ones. Like, all the crazy weapons and whatnot. I see that a lot in, like, ones that happened afterwards. And, like, the bunny hopping thing is something that I've myself experienced in, like, the Painkiller games. And I think it would be cool to see the thing that sort of originated that kind of play style brought back into the fold. So, it just looks cool. And that's it. It's good.
Right. So, I think the hero system can actually benefit in like breathing new life and better personality in a Quake. Because in the original one, it's like, oh, you're Space Marine 1, and your friend here is Space Marine 2, and that guy is Space Marine 3. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all start off with shotguns. Have at it.
People do love characters, man.
Space Marine 3 is my favorite.
Exactly. He was red. So, Perry, what do you think?
I've never played Quake, so I can't really say much about it, but if they did something in the terms of an Overwatch spin on it, I could see that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I made a quippy line about how one of the girls with blue hair, I was just like, oh look, Bulma's got a gun. Because I don't know why, just anytime I see a chick with blue hair, I immediately think Bulma.
She is one of the iconic blue hairs.
Yeah, so I just kind of thought it was funny, just seeing that. But I don't know. I've never cared much about its games, really, and even with the new Doom one, I do want to try out the single player, which we'll get to that in a little bit when we talk about their other stuff. But I did like how, with their single player, it's like, okay, we made it actually akin to the original. It's like, okay, so you basically made a remake of the original single player campaign for Doom, just with a new coat of paint on it. So I'm okay with that. But Quake itself, I honestly don't know what to think, because I'm so kind of, well, I've never played Quake. I can't really judge it. I'm not a multiplayer person. I don't even know what the story is, if there even is one, what the hell it even is. So I kind of have to kind of declare Switzerland on this one and say I can't really say much on it.
All right, Jalen.
Okay, so Quake's cool and all. They didn't show us anything, so I don't really have much to say other than, hey, cool, it's coming back. Look forward to it. QuakeCon. Woohoo. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Really? It's been a thing for a while.
Like
I don't
forever.
know.
Yeah.
I lived in Dallas for 4 years, and that was like one of the first things I learned about the city. Is like, oh yeah, QuakeCon's in here.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Not to mention, it is located in Dallas.
See, that's also new information to me.
Oh man.
Oh, and so is Gearbox.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Quake is coming back, guys. Look forward to that. So, we all good?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. So, in a total move that isn't Elder Scrolls 6, you're gonna hear me say that more than once, by the way.
Yeah.
Bethesda is bringing out a card game to rival Hearthstone. They're calling it Elder Scrolls Legends. And it's gonna
Didn't they announce this thing already, though?
They did,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you're right.
they just kind of said, "Hey, this is a thing." They didn't really go into it.
They
showed off
gameplay.
Yeah, showed off gameplay and the first story cutscene.
Yeah,
I
Which
chose
was,
to
like-
ignore it.
It was literally like a slideshow, because with cool effects.
right.
Like nothing moved except the fire. Like all the characters stood still and the fire moved around.
Yeah.
So it's basically a more boring version of one of those animated comic movies.
Yeah, pretty
Yes.
much. So anybody
Let's be honest, that's pretty much what it was.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So is anybody excited for this?
No, I don't play
No.
Hearthstone. Why would I play this?
All right. So let's just say if that's your thing, good for you. You'll have something else to play other than Hearthstone. And I guess it's Elder Scrolls, but not really. So, everybody just want to move on?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. And they announced more Fallout 4 stuff. What was it actually? Do any of you remember?
I do.
there-
I do. Let me go.
All right, go.
Okay.
All right. So they said first, you got some Rube Goldberg machine maker, baby. Yeah.
And then everybody clapped.
Yeah. And then the more impressive one was, yo, you know, in this post-apocalyptic wasteland, guess what we need? An amusement park. So here's an amusement park for your post-apocalyptic enjoyment.
And then everybody clapped.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
And it's based around a Coca-Cola ripoff.
Yep.
Yes. Well, bottle caps are the currency, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
That is true.
Wait, so that means it would be Moneyland.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just about.
So our job is to go in there and like take it over. I would assume.
You know what I find hilarious is just the name in itself.
Right.
Nuka World.
Nuka World.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
yeah,
got
exactly. Just say that out really slowly and just think about it. Nuke a world. Gee, wonder what that sounds like. Oh yeah, Fallout.
Yeah, we're literally in a world that has been nuked, ladies and gentlemen. So
yep. So it's a nuked world within a Nuka world.
Mm-hmm.
Not even hyperbole.
Yep. So is that like a story expansion, or they're just like dropping it there, like just hey, go crazy?
They didn't really say, did they?
I would assume that there's some story to it, because like the only other, there's a third one. I'll let you say it, Jalen.
Oh yes, Fallout Shelter. If anyone is interested in that, that's going to PC.
All right.
At least now I don't have to worry about playing it on my phone.
Yeah, I played it for a little bit after it was announced. It's fun for a while.
This time you'll be able to do new things, fight new people, new battle system on your PC.
No. Yeah, sure, cool. That's your cup of tea.
Yep.
Go for it. All right. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
Not really. I mean, I stopped playing Fallout 4 after about maybe the first week or so. I messed around with it. It was just like, yeah, it's just kind of nah. I mean, that's really my general reaction to Fallout 4, was just eh. Yeah. I will admit, I'm impressed with the fact that I'm glad they're finally doing mods for it, or at least putting mods on the console, specifically PS4, because I've been waiting for that to happen. It's like, hey, there's some mods in there that I actually wouldn't mind using.
Right.
I mean, hell, I saw some people making some Ghost in the Shell type armor for Fallout. I was like, damn it, guys. If you want me to play as Madoka Kusanagi, fine, I will do it.
I'm gonna make your PC with that purple hair.
Fine, I will do it. I don't care. It's the closest thing I'm probably going to get to an actual Ghost in the Shell RPG in a long time, so I might as well at least enjoy it while I can.
Right. Lenny, you have any thoughts on this?
Now correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure there was one other mode that basically was taking the concepts behind, Fallout Shelter and making it as an actual add-on for the full game.
Vault-Tec Workshop.
Yeah, that thing. So it's like now you actually run. You're like the manager of like a vault in the full game now. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah. I think it's cool that they're still like keeping on going with the content. Like it seems like they're doing a pretty good job of that, and the fact that they're incorporating mods is also like really, really nice. I mean, like, I just wish that they had a sort of add-on to maybe like fix some of the complaints people had about the main game. Like, I don't know, maybe if they could add a notoriety system, or like a few more dialogue options besides just the three. The boring, the evil, and the sarcastic doesn't really gives you a gigantic amount of range, especially when there's no consequences for your actions. But
Bethesda, they're not doing that.
Yeah. I know it'd take a lot of work, but still it'd be cool if they could maybe address some of the criticisms directly instead of saying, oh, hey, you're unable to do your own character path. Well, here's a pirate ship. Ooh.
Well,
the
handwave. That's how I saw it. Like, that's just how I saw the whole thing. It's just like, don't fix the problem. Just add more content. They'll forget about it.
But I say if we don't have facial animation by the time Fallout 5 comes around, it's like a war against crime. It's like a crime against humanity.
They don't care.
No, trust me. I've heard of some people what goes on at Bethesda. They really don't.
Well, I mean, let's say I go into somebody's house and like I steal everything they own, and they look at me and they're like, "I'm mad you stole everything they own." I'm mad you stole everything I own, and I go like, "You say that, but you're giving me like this bland look."
And it's like, oh, I'm so mad that you're not gonna have any consequences for this.
Yep.
Like, I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm not gonna tell like the town or the sheriff or send like bandits after you. You just kind of get to keep it unless I fight you.
Yeah.
And
I'm just gonna stare at you really hard.
it's like, and you've got power armor, a power fist, and that power fist has rebar on it. So I'm probably not gonna fight you.
Yep. You're from the vault, man. You're like some weird space alien or something. So nope.
And apparently none of us ever knew anything about those.
Yeah, just that one guy from that one time in some other place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But moving on.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So in another move that wasn't the Elder Scrolls 6 again, so we're getting Skyrim HD, guys. So
I rolled my eyes at
so-
that announcement.
So if you thought that this game was bland and unoriginal, now it's bland and unoriginal on a better engine and HD.
It was already HD.
It's better HD though. Yeah.
Slightly better HD. Oh boy, now I can take the mechanics they ripped off from Condemned 2 with 2 more pixels on it.
Exactly.
Bro, we got
Zippity-
volumetric God rays.
Zippity doodah,
We
man.
got better water, man. You know how much I care about water in video games.
Oh man, that'll totally fix all the game-breaking bugs that are going to happen at launch, because I can just ignore them by staring at the water disappeared. Oh.
You can
Oh,
really,
no.
you can really look
Why
at
is that? Why is that cow floating down the river upside down?
Yep.
Who cares? The water
Why-
looks nice.
Yep. You can look at
Also,
the.
why is the dragon breakdancing in midair?
Yep.
Why does a dragon look like Randy Savage?
Yep.
Oh my
No,
god.
that's not a glitch. That is the greatest thing ever.
It's true.
So
It's so good.
now they can bring out the best fine detail on those dragons, and you can still wonder why you're not excited to see them. So
Yeah.
moving on.
Ugh, fuck that game.
So guys, remember they announced Prey 2 a while ago?
No.
Love.
So it's back.
Besides me and Lenny, yeah.
Yeah, it's back, and they're calling it just Prey now.
And it has nothing to
Reboots.
do with either of them.
Exactly.
Reboots, baby.
Like, literally, it looks nothing like Prey 1 or the trailers for Prey 2.
Yep.
Like, I mean, maybe it will show some connections or some plot threads, but so far it has, like, nothing.
Yep. Trailer was nice.
Nothing. The
It
first
was
one,
a good trailer.
like, the first one was where your guy gets, like, taken by, him and his family get taken by aliens, and you're, like, a Native American who has, like, spirit world powers, and that's how you fight off the alien hordes in this spaceship while you, like, trying to escape back to Earth.
Right.
And then the trailers for the second one had it so your character was in a similar situation where he got, like, taken by aliens, but then they crash land on, like, this alien planet, and you become, like, a bounty hunter, like, in this, like, alien society that's kind of, like, looks like Blade Runner, and it's, like, really fucking cyberpunky and, like, cool.
Yeah.
And you got, like, you fight Mafia, and you got teleporters and shit. And now in this one, you're a guy with a beard on a space station, and goo is everywhere.
Yep. It's gonna be a psychological first-person horror in deep space.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
this sounds a lot like Dead Space 1 with more psychology.
Like, don't get me wrong. The trailer, by itself, like, not considering the idea of it being based on the other games, looks really fucking cool. Like, graphical fidelity is up there, and the concepts look good, and has a lot of really cool, like, horror elements that I like. Just, so from that alone, I'm gonna get it. It looks fucking great.
Yeah, me too. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I might pick it up.
Outside of that, though, I don't see why they needed it to be Prey. Like, why couldn't they have that really cool one with, like, the Johnny Cash music from 2 years ago as a game, and then have this as its own separate thing called, like, you know, Space Goo McBeardman? Like,
Maybe corporate espionage happened. Maybe a ninja destroyed all their data.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
It happened with Food
But,
Fight.
Don't even fucking go there.
I was about to
man.
say, dude, do you need me to get out the bunker?
Oh man. But yeah, you should definitely review that sometime, Lenny. Since you like torturing yourself for the entertainment of others.
No. It's not that he likes torturing himself. He likes torturing others while watching those shit movies.
Yeah, frankly, my dear, I don't give a spank.
Yep.
As you can see, Lenny is a sadist.
In best line in the entire movie.
That was before everybody hated Charlie Sheen for being Charlie Sheen. So.
Yeah, you're right.
And that just gave us more reason to hate him.
Yeah.
After the fact.
We didn't hate him back in 2012?
No, 2003 was when those lines were recorded.
No. I'm talking about when it came out.
No. We hated. We already hated him in 2012.
Yeah, the rest is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Sorry, not. That's an animal we don't care about.
Yeah, but moving on. Anything else?
Goddamn elephant.
I don't think I really said anything about Prey.
Yeah, go ahead. Say something about Prey.
I was actually going to raise up a little bit of a counter argument to Lenny, because I was like, you were giving this thing crap. It sounded like you were giving this thing a little smack for the set. He was like, well, it's nothing like the original. It's like, wouldn't this technically kind of be like the exact opposite argument you usually throw against FMA versus Brotherhood? Because you usually talk smack about how it's so loyal to the source material that it doesn't do anything original or creative with it, and yet this time you're knocking something for being something creative and completely different from the original, where it does its own thing, it just has the same name.
See, Perry, that is an excellent argument. The problem there is that FMA is an adaptation, whereas this is either a reboot or a sequel.
True. I'm just saying, this seems to be like the exact opposite.
Oh yeah, it is. The reason why is because this isn't supposed to be like a remake or a remastering of the original Prey. It's supposed to be either a reboot or a sequel of sorts. We won't know until we get more concrete details.
That make this a good thing, because even if they didn't...
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I still think the game looks great. It just doesn't look anything like Prey. And
who knows? We could get ourselves some portals and stuff like that, like the original one.
Yeah, I mean, once we get more details, we'll know. I'm just saying that the difference between the two is, I say FMA Brotherhood is bad because of the idea that it's completely unoriginal, since it's a straight one-to-one adaptation. But since this is not, and it's like supposed to be like a reboot of sorts, it's the same thing that I say with like I can't think of anything off the top of my head because this is
DMC Devil May Cry.
That's the thing, though. That at least looked like things like, oh, well, you're a guy who swords the demons.
Okay.
And
I got one.
Things.
I got one.
Yeah.
Alone in the Dark.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a perfect example. I played that game.
Just bringing that old wound.
I've actually played
Christ.
that game. That game is like a very, very special kind of shit. Like the most entertaining pile of poo in gaming that I've ever played.
What are we talking here? Like deadly premonition levels of poo?
Like, yes,
No,
actually.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, like I probably I put it like roughly equal because they both have the syndrome of really cool ideas, horrible hammy execution. Like there's a lot of cool things. It just oh my god, you have no the things. The physics engine in the game is so fucking broken. If you drive over a curb during any of the driving sequences, like your car will do like a backflip, and like if you land in any position besides like on all four wheels, it'll just assume that you're dead or stuck, and then you'll just like automatically die and reset and go back to the beginning of the segment.
So top-notch programming, huh?
Fire looks neat though.
Yeah, at least there's that. Hey, you gotta appreciate that. Fire is pretty hard to do.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
I can attest to that fact.
Yeah, no, fire's really hard to do. It looks cool. I just wish everything else looked better because, like, they had this thing where it's like, oh, there are cracks in the wall that are swallowing up people, but it doesn't look like the walls are opening up. It looks like sentient bacon caterpillars that are just, like, crawling all over every surface. It's just... ugh.
Did you say bacon caterpillars?
Like, yes!
Well,
like,
all right then.
Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Because it doesn't look like the floor is opening up. It looks like a weird, fleshy, like, crack is moving along the ground rather than the ground actually being physically forced open. And it's very, very distracting. because it's like they just poof disappear. Like they fade into the texture of the wall. It's like, where did you go? So,
so we ready to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead.
No, so sorry. I was going to mention one last thing. One last thing for Prey. I am interested in the fact that it's being developed by Arcane Studios, so they've definitely picked up my interest on that one.
What else did they make?
They made Dishonored.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right, and that's actually gotten me more interested. So let's go ahead and move on. Doom's getting more snap max stuff. I can't speak. Snap map. Yeah, they're getting. Everybody's been requesting a Hell tile set, which why it wasn't in there in the first place, I don't even know. So what you guys, for you guys who don't know, snap map is basically a create your own like level kind of thing that Doom had. I don't know anybody that's used it honestly, but apparently somebody is because they requested the tile set. So, but
Damn.
besides that, like we're getting multiplayer modes. We're getting classic, deathmatch. Which
why the fuck wasn't that in there?
Yeah, again, this is Doom, guys. Like killing things is like at the forefront. It's the first paid DLC. It's gonna be called Unto Evil, and it's gonna introduce three multiplayer maps, an entirely new demon called the Harvester, which sounds cool, collectible loot, and more fun in hell. Yay! What do you guys think about that, Lenny?
honestly, it's kind of like what you said. Like the fact it wasn't included in the first place is kind of shocking. In fact, it reminds me a lot of Street Fighter V not having a story mode or an arcade mode at launch. It's I don't know, it's just stuff like that. I'm surprised that it has that. It's I mean, like new content is cool. Like it's great that you're having all these new modes and all these like new character models and all these other things, and that's great. I don't really know what else to say on this topic because I haven't played the new Doom, but it's good for them. That's I guess that's why I want to say. Just I really hope they don't do the same thing with Quake. I hope they actually include all things like, oh, you want the like basic shotgun? Well, we'll have that in 3 months with the first DLC pack.
All right, Perry, what do you think?
Honestly, I've not played anything of Doom, and even though I want to try the single player, I couldn't really give much of a crap about the multiplayer. Plus, I've heard the multiplayer is kind of meh. And the snap map thing, I'm just like, I don't have the time, the effort, or the patience to wait to get my energy going for that sort of feature because I have way too many other games to play. Not to mention, it's so like I already had that kind of experience when I did Forge mode. Mm-hmm. Sorry, when I did Forge mode back in Halo 3 and Halo Reach. So I really don't see much point for me to get all excited about this. I mean, sure, if you're a Doom fan and this is kind of your thing, great. Why the fuck that wasn't in the first place, I don't know. But if it's your thing and you're excited, great. More power to you. Just personally, not one I'm likely going to get into. Plus, considering the fact that you were saying that this wasn't included in the first game originally, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I think I'm going to wait a little bit until Doom is on sale before I really start digging into it.
All right. Snap map was already in Doom. They're just adding stuff to it. And they're adding more modes to the multiplayer and stuff like that.
I think we were referring more to the tile set, like the Hell tile set and like the deathmatch things, like those particular things. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear up any confusion if there was.
Oh yeah, that's good.
My mistake.
Yeah. Jalen, what do you have to say?
Okay, so I don't like level creators. Like, that might as well just be quantum mechanics. Like, I remember I tried to play Infamous 2's level creator, and I was like, man, what the hell am I doing? I made like 3 Zeeks, and I killed them all. I was like, it's stupid. But
yeah, man. With the power of the cloud, you could have had 4 Zeeks to kill. Then
Exactly.
it masterpiece.
don't bring up that cloud nonsense, please. So
I can't help it.
back to Doom Snapmap. I mean, it's a cool thing. There are people out there who like to fiddle with things, and level creators are cool to fiddle with if you're into that kind of thing. But additions to SnapMap is cool. I mean, Doom's greatest thing is oh, you go to hell. Why wasn't that in the beginning? I don't know. I know you have to hear this from us 5 times, but I have to stress this point. I think it should have been in the first place. I think we should have gotten Deathmatch first, and then whatever was in the multiplayer, we could have got that second, because apparently people were like, man, fuck. I could go play Call of Duty if I wanted a better multiplayer experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, I guess that's cool.
Yep. So, guys, you now get to make hell levels. Congrats on that. And to the 5 guys who are playing Doom multiplayer right now who probably live in the same apartment, good luck with that new DLC map pack. So, ready to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys remember a year or 2 ago, Bethesda released that MMO that wasn't Elder Scrolls 6?
Yes, I do. I remember everyone being vastly disappointed.
Oh, yes.
So they're adding an expansion to it. It's called the Dark Brotherhood expansion. I'm guessing
based on one of their famous side quests.
Yeah, I'm guessing you joined some kind of Dark Brotherhood. Am I looking into it too much? That or you just watch FMA in a really dark room.
Oh god.
That or you just watch it blindfolded.
Okay, I got nothing on this because I seriously don't care. Somebody take it.
I'm gonna say I'm surprised that it's still going, because it's like you said. I remember people either didn't give a shit or didn't want to give a shit when it first came out.
Well, remember when it first came out, it was subscription based.
Yeah.
And people were like, man, this is fucking stupid. And they were like, okay, it's free to play. And then it kind of skyrocketed from there.
Yeah, because apparently it's got 7 million players. And I'm like, how? Maybe it's just because I have a niche friend group where I have people who either only play Japanese indie games, or they play multiplayer games, and then that's it.
That's a very specific group of friends.
My friends, they only play Overwatch, League, and Dark Souls, or they only play things like Yume Nikki and stuff like that. I have weird friends. Point being, I don't know. I'm not referring to you, Perry. I'm talking about my other friends. I mean, you are weird. Just to be very clear, but
hey, there's nothing wrong with being weird.
You don't play Yume Nikki, all right?
I do play Yume Nikki, so does that mean
Perry doesn't play Yume Nikki.
It's a good game.
Yume Nikki.
It's like a indie. I don't want to call it horror. It's just very surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an Earthbound kind of game, sort of.
Yeah.
Spookier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point to I can't even say something without insulting somebody. I swear.
Welcome to the internet.
It's okay to be weird, by the way. You know, if we were all straight laced, this podcast would be shit.
Yeah,
more like a debate.
For the point,
and plus, that's usually my job.
I was gonna say I would assume I would have met one of those 7 million players at some point. All right, I've met 5 people who play Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn. I've met 0 who have played, Elder Scrolls Online. And like I said, maybe just because I have a selective group of friends who just don't happen to play it. But 7 million is a lot of people, all right? There's 2 million in the Twin Cities alone, all right? Every one of them, and then 5 million throughout the rest of the United States should be playing that game, all right? I don't play it, and I live in the Twin Cities, all right? Get your shit together, Bethesda.
Yeah, I've never met anybody that plays the game either.
Yeah, I'm just saying my whole statement about it is, 2 things. One, the one I just made, that I'm surprised there's so many people playing it when the reception was so lukewarm, but apparently they fixed a lot of shit, so that's good of them.
Right.
But the second thing I was going to say is, the other like announcement they made in addition to Dark Brotherhood is something called Tamriel 1, which is like along the lines of like, hey, all the content is like no longer cut based on whether or not you own it or have a level cap.
Right.
So it's like everyone can play with everyone, every single place in the game ever.
Yeah, there are no borders.
Right.
No longer any borders in regards to like paywalls or DLCs or level caps or like regions or anything now. Like everyone can play with everyone now. And I'm like, that's really cool. Like I've never seen, and they said that the game will like scale based on your level, or that they will scale you based on the level of the area, so that like you have a chance of surviving everywhere now. And it's like, that's really, really fucking cool. Like I have never really seen something like that before, and doing it for the sake of player interactivity is really neat, even though it might fuck up some of the stuff in regards to like, I don't know, balance. But as long as they keep it to PvE and not have it bleed into PvP, I think everything should be absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else from anybody?
I've got nothing to say for this one.
Oh, it's coming to Japan, so if you live in the Rising Sun country, you can get it if you don't have it already because you had a different account on PSN.
As if they would care about this.
Yeah, you can get none of the Elder Scrolls 6 that it has in the game.
Exactly. So, move on?
Yeah.
All right. So, the next announcement was that they're doing Fallout 4 and Doom now in VR. Yes, good old virtual reality. The technology that's already being used for porn. All right.
Hey, we knew that was coming, okay?
Exactly. So, anybody actually excited about this? Like, is anybody actually going to replay Fallout 4 or Doom with VR?
No.
No. Like
I'd have to get one first.
Like if I already had VR and then I had not played this game, it's like, oh well, now I can get this game and I have that option. But it's like I don't have either of them. They're like what, like $600 and $800 respectively.
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't have that kind of money. I'm not intending to get those. The only one that's even remotely close to being on my radar is PlayStation VR, and the only reason for that is because it's the cheapest, and I don't need to spend like $300 on like a graphics card and like a new power supply just to run the damn thing.
Right.
It's just that. It's like the only reason it's there is because it's not like I don't need to like put a mortgage on my apartment just to do this.
At this point in its lifespan, VR reminds me of 80s cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. It's like it's cool. I'm glad they're doing it. I know that a lot of first-person VR things are going to be really like neat and cool and immersive.
All right.
It's just
You said that buzzword.
Yeah, it's just not appealing to me, like even remotely, just because I don't have the hardware or the money to get said hardware. So it's like I'm happy for those of you who are going to get it. But this isn't something that's getting me like type like, oh boy, now I can play that game with like limited character motives in like Wasteland or whatever, and I can look behind me when I run at the same time. It's like, oh boy, I can plant turnips for 3 days while forgetting where the fuck my son is in 3D. It's not appealing to me, but cool. That's it.
You can go free those endless supplies of settlements.
Yep.
Like you were actually there.
Yeah.
So, anything else before we move on?
No,
I'm good.
pretty much
Yeah.
Alright, so Dishonored 2 was shown.
Yes.
Yep.
Clearly the highlight of this conference.
Yeah, game looks really good. They told us that we're in a new city called... Is it a new city? I don't remember much about Dishonored 1. It's called Dunwall.
The first one's called Dunwall.
Huh?
The first one's called Dunwall.
Oh, okay.
No, we're in Karnaka now.
Yes.
Oh, we're in Karnaka, yes. Okay.
Karnaka.
Yeah. Karnaka, they call it the Jewel of the South. So, yeah. What'd you guys think of Dishonored 2, Lenny?
I thought it looks really cool. I'm glad that we have a lot more diversity in powers, because they said that you get to play as either Corvo or Emily, and they have a unique power sets this time.
Right.
And I think that's great because, like, using Corvo to expand upon and increase the like I guess tool set that you had in the first one is really awesome, but having completely new ones through Emily is something I think the game really needed because like don't get me wrong, the powers in Dishonored 1 were really cool, but being able to give you new ones while still having like an in-plot explanation, because it's like, oh well, they didn't just give Corvo new powers. As far as I know, they're just going to be having him have the same ones and then expand upon them greatly because he's getting more powerful, and then have Emily do that. It's like, congratulations, you did the good thing for gameplay without sacrificing like shit for plot holes. It's like that's how you do a fucking game.
Right.
It's great, and graphically it's good. The only thing that I would say, in mind, this is more criticism of the conference in the game, is something that Perry brought up. I wish the guy wasn't talking the whole damn time.
Yeah. They could have just showed us the game.
They could have just showed us the game, or let us take it in. Like, look at him, be like, "Oh, holy shit! Like, look at that thing that character did. That's really cool." Something like that. But instead, it's like, look at this name of this power doing this particular thing, and then we see it. It's like there's no anticipation for it. It's just, it's kind of boring. It's like, watch this person turn into a rat and then free the prisoner, and then we see him turn into a rat and free the prisoner. It's like, oh boy, I didn't see that coming. Keep the hype train going, Bethesda. Not saying that it isn't exciting or fun to see, but let us take it in. Because even something a lot more simplistic in regards to like its game mechanics, like Titanfall 2, looked a lot more interesting in comparison, on the basis that it wasn't just spelled out to us like we're fucking goldfish.
Right.
Like, that's it. It's just, what else do you do? It's good. It's a really cool game, but that's my only thing. Just conference-wise, that wasn't great. But the game has a lot of potential, especially after some of the stuff I saw in the original Dishonored, because I recently got the like definitive edition, and had a lot of cool stuff.
Right. They also showed off that cool time warping thing, where you look through what was it, like a shield or like some kind of device, and you can actually look into like the past. Was it? Like, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that thing from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. And Perry, what did you think about Dishonored 2?
I am really excited about Dishonored 2. The only thing I would ask is if they do show this off again, get a better narrator. Seriously, I do not need every single detail of everything that's going to happen in that demo to tell me exactly what's going to happen and what's a play-by-play of the game. If I wanted a play-by-play, I'd watch an actual Let's Play, or I'd play the game myself.
Right.
Sorry, that just really annoyed me, got to a point. It's like, don't spell out everything that's going to happen, otherwise what's the point? But aside from that, the game itself, I'm really hyped.
That's good.
I actually successfully did manage to do a no-lethal run at all throughout the entirety of Dishonored 1. So I'm curious to see if that's possible the second time around.
Oh, nice. I'm sure, and you should probably continue the trend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty cool, man. I wasn't able to do that whenever I was playing Dishonored.
That's because you're not good.
It was first try too.
I like shooting things too much. Poor me.
Oh, I know. I'm more of the I'm going to choke out this person and just hide them in the corner and probably put them in some kind of suggestive position while I'm already sneaking around and try to steal their shit. Yeah. I was like, haha, no one knows I was here. Bye.
But yeah, all right, Jalen, what do you think?
I was actually very impressed considering I didn't play the first one or see anything about it. I did completely flew off my radar. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. I might actually wait. Is it if you pre-order the collector's edition, you get the first game, or do you just pre-order the game and you get the first game?
I think if you just pre-order it, then you get it.
Okay, so
like, I think it's, and I might forget which game it was. I'm pretty sure they said that if you pre-order it now, you get to play the first game now, so you don't even have to wait for the second game to come out. You can just like download it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So if I get some extra throwing around money, man, I say that a lot. I might pre-order and dibble dabble with the first game.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. Yeah, the game itself looked really cool. I do like that time mechanic thing they had going on. I do like Emily's abilities that they showed off, so I'm excited for this. All right, guys, that was the end of the Bethesda show.
Thank God.
So, if you had to rate it, what would you say, Perry?
If I had a wager for rate it, I would say, let's see, Quake called that one. Doom multiplayer match don't really care for. Fallout don't care for. I would say probably around maybe C plus, just for the stuff that I was a lot more mildly interested in, and mainly for Dishonored 2. That's pretty much that was the highlight of the press conference for me on that end. So yeah, probably my favorite thing out of that showing.
All right, Jalen.
All right, so you started off cool with the Quick announcement. Sweet. The middle with all the Fallout Doom stuff add on, I didn't care for it. And then Prey was cool. And what was that other one? Dishonored 2. We just talked about it. Wow. What'd you say?
You're talking about the main character?
No. I was thinking of the game's name. It's really bad. Short-term memory. Dishonored 2. I was impressed with outside of the middle with those that I had seen. I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
So relatively decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems fair enough. All right, Lenny.
It wasn't a bad conference, but I'm honestly gonna give it a 6 because as much as it was a good conference, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. There were only 2 things that they showed off, which weren't things that had already previously been established, and that was Prey and Quake. Everything else was either stuff that we already knew about or an expansion to something that was already out.
Right.
And so it's more the idea of it's not that every single thing at E3 has to be 100% brand new or unknown to us or whatever, but it's more the idea that
It impresses.
Yeah, it's just it's harder to be slightly more impressive with this front. If it's oh boy, Doom, I've played that. Oh boy, Fallout 4, I've played that. Oh boy, just you Dishonored 2, already knew about that. It's outside of, again, Prey and Quake, everything else was just, here's some stuff for the stuff that you already know about. And It's good to get updates on it. What better place than E3 to get updates? But it's hard for me to get hyped about something when it's oh boy, this thing I already knew about. Holy shit, what a revolution. So, I mean, like I said, not objectively bad, but from the basis of trying to generate the concepts of hype or excitement for it, it didn't do a ton. But I am excited for Prey, despite my criticisms of it being nothing like the original Prey. As far as... Yeah.
Right. If I had to rate it, I guess I'd give it a 6. The conference itself was okay. And even though they did only show off 2 new games, they look cool. I'm glad Quake is back. Dishonored 2 looked really great. So I'm taking off points for every Elder Scrolls news that wasn't Elder Scrolls 6.
Damn.
Which was 3.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, yeah, Skyrim remastered, the card game, and then the online thing. 2 online things.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So 6, it was a good conference. It could have been better. I feel like they brought more. I feel like they brought more to the table last year. So
Well, it was their first time. They had to be dressed to impress.
Oh, yeah, no, last year was when they showed off everything.
yeah. So
that was when all the stuff they talked about today was announced, because Fallout wasn't out yet,
Yeah,
and
Doom wasn't out yet.
Doom wasn't out yet. None of it was around at that point.
yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
second verse same as the first. Essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just had a better outing last year, which understandable. The first outing, they had to be great, but this year kind of felt a little weak. So 6. So what do you guys think about these conferences? I'm talking to the audience. Let us know what you think. Did you like EA and Bethesda? Did they do well? Any game catch your eye? So I think we're done here for tonight, guys.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Yep.
So come back for part 2, where we're going to start off with the Microsoft conference.
We're gonna do Microsoft and PC conference next time. So,
Boy, do I have words.
Oh, you're not alone. You are not alone.
I believe we all have words. So, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Be prepared.
Don't be irrelevant.